Happy Thursday, everyone. This is Krystal Lucier, also known as your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Krystal Lee Moore, with Royal LePage Triland Realty in London, Ontario, and this is episode 11 of Realtor Life, a fun and entertaining way to learn about life in the trenches as a real estate professional in Ontario, and hopefully to learn some valuable lessons and takeaways. Now for this week's 5 circle goals, inspired by Buffini & Company, which are goals for the 5 circles of our lives: spiritual, family, business, financial, and personal. I hope you're choosing goals for yourselves every week and writing them down. My spiritual goal this week is to continue to take time for myself to meditate and play the ukulele, and to raise funds for ChildCan for the upcoming Chili Challenge. Usually, we participate in the annual Polar Bear Dip at the beginning of March and raise funds in February. We jump in, run in to the cold waters at Port Stanley, but COVID-19 has changed even this and forced us to pivot, which leads me to my family goal. For my family goal this week, we will be deciding as a family what we will do for the ChildCan Chili Challenge. We get to choose something and we'll raise money together. In case you're curious, ChildCan goes from a childhood cancer diagnosis through treatment, recovery, or bereavement, and supports families and children through responsiveness and direct financial assistance, compassionate emotional support, proactive social programs, and by funding novel research. By alleviating external worries, ChildCan allows the family to focus on their child's care. ChildCan is near and dear to our hearts, and it is an amazing organization, and we're more than happy to help. We also appreciate that ChildCan makes it fun and easy to help. For my business goal, I'm focusing on staying organized amidst the chaos in the real estate market in 2021 so far. It is a hot market in Southern Ontario, but specifically in London, Ontario, and staying organized and focused will be my saving grace. For my financial goal, I am focused on saving and limiting needless spending, as always. And finally, for my personal goal, I am working on fitness, which is usually a mix of working out and sports right now, but there are no sports, so trying to keep it interesting. And I'm also trying to surround myself with positive and uplifting people, messages, and books and podcasts. I hope that hearing about my 5 circle goals has inspired you to choose or write down your own 5 circle goals. I would love to continue to hear more about them. You can go to my website at www.krystalleemore.ca and find my contact info, or send me an email at krystalleemore@royallepage.ca. And now, it's story time. One of the most important lessons we learn as real estate professionals is to ask questions. And sometimes it is the key lessons that can slip away when we are busy or we forget. Here's what happened. I got a referral for a seller in the neighborhood I was building my business in a seller's market. I was so excited. Working with sellers right now is living the dream. The seller explained to me that she and her partner were splitting up and they wanted to sell the house. And she wanted to give me a chance. We hadn't met yet, but the rapport was great. I met with her on her own, toured the house. It was a super cute detached home, and I knew I could do really well for them with it. It did need a little work, some paint, and maybe some staging, but these were all things that I brought to the table. We clicked, she was lovely, and I was super pumped. I sent over the pricing information for the sale and followed up. There was just one small step left. We needed to sit down with her partner and get the green light about listing the home. I have a rule of thumb, which is not always accurate, but is helpful to keep in mind. Do you remember the movie Erin Brockovich? My rule stems from that movie. In the movie, Ed, the lawyer, declines a cup of coffee from one of the plaintiffs or clients in their lawsuit against PG&E. And Erin says to him, "Take the cup of coffee, Ed." Okay, she said it with a little more flair, of course, but still, it stuck. Every time a client offers me a cup of coffee or a glass of water, I can almost hear Julia Roberts' character, "Take the glass of water, Krystal." Fun fact, not every client will offer you water or coffee or tea or anything, but the ones who do will almost always be loyal, kind, and great to work with. For you sellers out there, you might want to offer water or coffee to your guests, even the real estate agents. Just my opinion. And to my fellow agents, take the cup of coffee, Ed. I digress. I set a time to go over and meet with the seller and her partner. I was friendly, but I didn't get a lot back as far as rapport. In separations, this can be common though, so I didn't read too much into it and I kept going. I went through my presentation, but if I'm honest, I think I could have gone through it in a little more detail. And before I even started the presentation, I should have asked a few key questions to get into his frame of mind. What are you hoping to sell your home for? Do you have an idea? Have you ever sold a home before? Do you have an expectation of what services will be offered or commission fees? When are you hoping to be listed? These are standard questions that I almost always ask, but alas, I did not ask these. Was it because I felt too comfortable? Was it because I was feeling too confident? I don't know. But in case you're curious, no, I was not offered a glass of water or a cup of coffee. I still hoped that I had a good chance though. I followed up and I found out that the pricing had been a shock and that the commission had also been a shock. I offered to come back and explain things in person, but that's when I found out that he had asked to meet with some other agents to compare pricing, both of the home and of listing the home. I found out there had been 2 more agents called in and that the decision had already been made, and a colleague of mine who also focuses on the same neighborhood would be listing the home. I should have asked questions. I could have asked questions. It is possible that even after asking my questions, we still could have reached the same conclusion. There are some agents out there who cut their commission, and I have nothing bad or good to say about this. My job was to convey the value that I bring to the table though, and I did not do this. My job was to ask questions and communicate with this client. I did not do this. I was more disappointed that I would not be able to help this amazing seller with such a tough situation. But we are on excellent terms, and I know we will stay connected in another way. And as I said to my colleague who got the listing, I don't like losing listings, but if I have to lose a listing, I'm happy it is to him. I know he'll take good care of them too. It's really nice to have a network of like-minded agents around us. Remember that we're all working together, and if you can find agents that feel the same way, your career will be much less stressful and much happier. What are the lessons? When you're talking with sellers, it's very important to get a frame of reference from them. If you can get this before your meeting, even better, but in a situation where you cannot, try to get that right away. Find out if they have an idea in their mind of what their house should list for or sell for. Sometimes, if the clients don't trust you, they will turn it back on you and say that that's why you're there because you're the professional. The best thing to do in that case is just to explain that you are the professional, but you're just trying to get a frame of reference. This also goes for the commission amount. We need to show value, but it's important to find out what they have in their mind and explain on those terms. Find out what else we need to convey to both sellers, especially in a separation. These are emotional times, so it can be difficult to navigate. If the unthinkable happens and you see another sign on the client's lawn, take the extra time to ask what you could have done differently. For the most part, sellers will be kind and they will answer you. It is 2021, and sometimes people will just ghost you. And if that happens, then just keep moving on and focus on the people that are actually talking to you. That's all for this week. If you have any comments or questions or feedback, you can find me on Instagram at Your Home Sweet Home 519 Realtor, Facebook at Krystal Moore Real Estate Sales, or by going to my website at www.krystalleemore.ca. I wish everyone a safe, happy, and prosperous week. And if you are interested in making a donation to ChildCan, please find them on the web at childcan.com. Thank you so much and have a great week.